Test, test. All right. Are you guys ready? I'm ready, man. You guys ready? There you go. Okay, it works. We're good. All right, man. A lot of people said to keep reading Lord of the Mysteries, so we'll keep doing that. All right, let's start the video, guys. I just want to say like, comment, subscribe if you like what you see here. Well, you know where to come. So a lot of people said to read this in dark mode, so we'll be reading in dark mode. Am I unmuted? Please tell me I am unmuted. Okay, I'm unmuted. Whew. All right, we are A-okay. Yes, A-okay? All right, we're A-okay. Are you guys ready? So I had chapter 1. No. I don't even know what I'm saying. I've read chapter 1 and chapter 2. Okay, so now we start with chapter 3. All right, ready, Ellie? Is it okay if I read for a little bit? Yeah. Do you guys want to say hi to my puppy? She's 6 months old. Her name is Ellie. Look at that, Ellie. You're going to be going on this journey with me while we read Lord of the Mysteries together, okay? We're going to go through all these twists and turns together. The only thing I've read out of context was somebody's call... What was it? Follow the Fool? Right? I think that was it. That's all I know. I'm hiding the text. Somebody has to tell me, man, in the comments. I don't know if I can show the text on screen or if it's just supposed to be blank. So at least for this video, it's just gonna be blank. But if you guys know other people that just show the text, I mean, that could work too. You guys let me know, okay? But for now, after dragging out this intro, we can finally read Lord of the Mysteries. 2 minutes into the video. Okay, chapter 3, Melissa. So, wait. So he was isekai'd. He woke up in a body from somebody that ended. I don't even know if you can say the word in the video. They ended, unalived. I think people said that, right? Individual unalived himself, wakes up in that body, and then the wound miraculously heals. And that's all I know. That's all the context I have to this series. Chapter 3, Melissa, right? Almost 3 minutes in. Sorry about that, guys. After confirming his plan, Zou Mingruri immediately felt he had a mental crutch. His fear and unease were all swept away into a corner of his mind. Only then did he have the mood to carefully study Klein's memory fragments. Klein is the body he woke up to, right? Zou Mingruri habitually stood up before turning off the pipe's valve. He watched the wall lamp gradually dim until its flame extinguished before sitting back down as he subconsciously fiddled with the revolver's brass cylinder. He pressed the side of his head. He slowly recalled his memories in the crimson darkness, as though he was the most attentive viewer in a movie theater. Perhaps as a result of having a bullet pass through his head, Klein's memories were like shattered glass. Not only were the memories not continuous, there were many spots which were clearly missing. For example, memories... Sorry, Ellie. For example, memories pertaining to how the exquisite revolver appeared in his possession, whether he had committed or was killed, as well as the meaning of the words, "Everyone will die, including me," on the notebook, or whether he was participated in anything odd 2 days before the incident. Not only had these particular memories become fragmented, there were also missing pieces. It was the same even for the knowledge he ought to know. In light of the present situation, Zou Mingruri believed that if Klein were to return to university, it was unlikely he could graduate. This was despite him having left campus just days ago without relaxing one bit. So he was going to campus and he left, right? So Klein is going... Is Klein going to university or was it Zou? This was despite him having left campus just days ago without relaxing one bit. He needs to participate in Tingen University History Department interview 2 days later. The university graduates of Lone Kingdom do not have the tradition of staying at their alma mater. His mentor had given him a recommendation letter to Tingen University of Backlone University. Through the window, Zou Mingruri silently observed the red moon setting in the west. The gradual sinking of the moon continued until a faint line glowed from the east, dying on the horizon golden. At the moment, there was a commotion inside the apartment. Soon, the sound of footsteps approached his door. Melissa is awake. Melissa? So he knows Melissa? Melissa is awake. She's really as punctual as always. Zou Mingruri smiled. Due to Klein's memory, seeing Melissa made him feel as though she was really his younger sister. However, I do not have a younger sister. He merely contradicted himself. Ah, so that's what people were saying. He has like the same memories as him, so he also has the same emotions, right? Get comfy, Ellie. You want to take a little nap? Melissa was different from Benson and Klein. Her rudimentary education was not completed at the Sunday school classes offered by the Church of Evernight. When she reached schooling age, the Lone Kingdom had enacted the Basic Education Law. A primary secondary education committee was established and was specially provided with funding, increasing the kingdom's investment into education. In less than 3 years, under the premise that numerous church schools would be incorporated, many public primary schools were established to maintain the principle of religious neutrality. This was to prevent education from evolving itself into conflicts between the Lord of Storms, Evernight Goddess, and the God of Steam and Machinery. Compared to Sunday school, that only cost so it's copper, silver, and gold, right? Is that the currency, right? Compared to Sunday school that only costs a copper penny a week, a public primary school costs 3 pence a week appeared rather expensive. However, the former only provided education every Sunday, whereas the latter provided 6 days of classes a week. So you're technically getting more in value, right? If it's 3, but 6 days a week versus once a week. In conclusion, the price was so low that it was almost free. There you go. Melissa was different. Yo, what's up, Sand? What's up, dude? I'm so sorry. Sorry if I saw your message a little late. Yeah, dude, we just started reading Lord of Mysteries. I just started chapter 3. I'm like not even halfway. I'm like 25% into chapter 3. All right, Ellie. Sorry, I have my puppy right here with me. Melissa was different from most girls. From a young age, she enjoyed things like gears, springs, and bearings. Her ambition was to be a steam mechanic. Oh, because it's like a steampunk world, right? Right? The currency is pence, solely in pounds. Pence? Okay, so Melissa's school is 3 pence, and then for him it was 1 copper a week. Oh, solely in pounds. Got it. Thank you, Sand. Okay. Yo, they did mention right here how, like, he has memories. No, he smiled when he saw Melissa, even though he was like, oh, that's not my real sister. But he's still, like, he was kind of happy. Think I read that wrong. Think of pences as pennies, soils as dollars, and pounds as like $100, I guess. Okay, so pence is pennies, soles are dollars, and pounds are like $100 bills. Okay, so that's it going. That's the currency going up in value. Okay. Having suffered from a lack of culture, Benson, who knew the important education, supported his sister's dreams, just like how he supported Klein's university education. After all, Tingen Technical School was only considered secondary education. There was no need for her to attend grammar school or a public school for more knowledge. In July last year, 15 years old Melissa passed her entrance examinations and fulfilled her dreams of becoming a student at the Tingen Technical School Steam and Machinery Department. As such, her weekly school fees raised to 9 pences. Damn, 9 pennies? That's not a lot. That's all right. Can we afford that? Yeah, we can afford that, right? Meanwhile, Benton's company was affected by the situation in the southern continent. There was a drastic drop both in profit and business transactions. More than a third of the employees were retrenched in order to keep his job and maintain their livelihoods. Benson could only accept more arduous tasks. He had to work overtime more frequently, or he had to place with his harsh environments. There was what he was once occupied in the past few days. You okay, Ellie? Are you okay? Wait, one sec. Why are you panting? Are you thirsty? Are you tired? Oh, you're tired. It's okay. Here, take a nap. I'll recline back, and you can kind of just sleep right here with me. Here. Wait, one sec. Let me get my puppy comfortable. There you go, Ellie. Look, you can come up here with me. I'm gonna scoot in. Okay? I'm gonna put the mic as close as I can to myself in hopes that the mic is good. And there, Ellie can just chill with me. It was not that Klein did not think of helping share his older brother's burden, but being born a commoner and having been admitted into an average grammar school, he felt a strong sense of inadequacy when he enrolled into the university. For example, as the origin of all languages in the northern continent, the ancient language of Faisak was something all children of nobles and of all wealthy class would learn from a young age. In contrast, he only made first contact with... so he didn't learn from a young age. He learned the second he started going to university. Okay. He faced many similar aspects during his schooling career. Klein nearly gave his all and often stayed up too late into the night and woke up early before barely managing to catch up the others, eventually allowing him to graduate with average results. So, okay. He neither excelled nor underperformed. Memories regarding his older brother. Oh, he has an older brother. Memories regarding his older brother and younger sister remained active in Zomiguri's mind until he turned the doorknob open. Only then did he jolt awake and remember that he held a revolver in his hand. He walked out with a gun in his hand. This was a seemingly regulated item. It will scare children. Please put it away. Also, there's still the wound on my head. Oh, it hasn't fully healed. With Melissa arriving at the moment, Zomiguri pressed onto his temple and hurriedly pulled over a desk drawer and threw the revolver. Oh, I can't even read that. And threw the revolver in before slamming it close. What happened? Melissa looked over curiously when she heard the commotion. She was still in the prime of her youth, even though she didn't have much nutritious food to eat, making her face thin and slightly pale. Her skin remained lustrous and exuding the vibes of a young girl. When is my puppy's voice being picked up? I hope it's not. Come on, Ellie. When Zomiguri saw his sister brow her eyes over, he forcibly composed himself and picked up an item beside his hand before calmly closing the drawer to conceal the existence of the revolver. He placed... Ellie, stop. He placed his other hand on his temple, the texture confirming that his wound had already... Oh, so it healed. Confirming that his wound had already healed. He took out a silver vine leaf pocket watch and pressed the top gently, causing its cover to flip open. Ah! Ow! Ellie! It was a picture of siblings' father. It was the most valuable item the Imperial Army sergeant left behind. But being a second-hand item, it would often malfunction from the time of the... From time to time... Ellie, you're pushing my Adam's apple. From time to time in recent years, even though he had gotten a watchsmith to fix it. It had embarrassed Benson, who enjoyed bringing it with him to elevate his status many times, so it would... Ellie, you're blocking me, girl. I don't even got my glasses. I'm lost. I got lost in place, Ellie. Look what you did. Let me put my puppy down. Let's see if maybe she just wants to go. Yo, what's up, Sand? Yo, I love the all caps, bro. Easy Geeky. How you doing, bro? I think you should read the manhwa. People were saying to read the manhwa. Should I? She was in the prime of her youth, even though she didn't have much nutritious food to eat, making her face thin and slightly pale. Her skin remained lustrous and excluded the vibes of a young girl. When Zomiguri saw his sister Brown Eyes look over, he forcibly composed himself and picked up the item beside his hand before calmly closing the drawer to conceal the existence of the revolver. He placed his other hand on his temple, the texture confirming that his wound had already healed. He took out a 5 silver vine leaf pocket closely and pressed the top gently, causing its cover to flip open. It was a picture of the sibling's father. Oh, their dad. It was the most valuable item the Imperial Army sergeant left behind. Left behind? Is he not here anymore? Oh, so their dad's not in the picture anymore. But being a second-hand item, it would often malfunction from time to time in recent years, even though he had gotten a watchsmith to fix it. It had embarrassed Benson, who enjoyed bringing it with him to elevate his status many times, so it was thrown away back at home in the end. Start from chapter 2 in the mono and read from there. Okay, we can... Oh, you want me to just switch to it exactly? Okay, let's finish the chapter then. It had to be said that perhaps Melissa did not have the talent in machinery. After grasping the principles behind the watch, she borrowed the tools from her. Ellie, don't lick it. You're gonna lick the mic. It's probably gonna be picked up. It's gonna sound so weird to people listening to it. It had to be said that perhaps Melissa did not have talent in machinery. After grasping the principles behind the watch, she borrowed the tools from her technical school to fiddle with the pocket watch. Recently, she even claimed to have fixed it. Zomiguri looked at the watch's open cover and saw that the second hand was not moving. Subconsciously, he twisted the top dial to wind the pocket watch. Oh, because he has his memories, right? Klein's memories. However, despite the winding a few times, he did not hear the sound taunt springs. The second hand remained motionless. It looked like it's broken again. He looked at his sister while trying to find a topic of conversation. Melissa shot him an expressionless glance and briskly walked over to take the pocket watch away. She stood in her sprout and pulled up the button, sitting atop the pocket watch with a few simple turns. The tick-tocking of the second hand sounded. Isn't pulling the button up usually meant to adjust the time? Zomiguri's expression merely turned blank. At the moment, a bell chimed from a faraway cathedral. Its chime 6 times sounded a distant ethereal? Melissa tilted her head to listen to it and pulled up the button up once again. Following that, she turned it to synchronize that time. It's okay now, she said simply without emotions. She then pressed the top button back and handed the pocket watch back to Zominguri. Zominguri returned his smile politely in embarrassment. I'm gonna do homework while listening. Yeah, I saw good, Zan. Yeah, dude, for sure, bro. Homework is fun, man. It's always fun. Homework is always fun, dude. Melissa gave her older brother a piercing stare before turning to walk to the cupboard. She took her toiletries and towels before opening the door to leave. She headed from a public bathroom. Why did her expression have a look of disagreement and what? Disagreement and resignation? It is a look of love and concern for a... I don't think I can read that word. It is a look of love and concern for our brother. I'm gonna read the comments. What? I fear I'm the brother. Real. Look at the comments. He's just like me for real. This comment section, okay, the comment section, they're getting a little weird. Is it a look of love and concern for our brother? I'm not gonna say that. Most capting I've ever heard. Yeah, dude, what the hell? Why would he just say that? That's so crazy, dude. Zominguri loved... That's so weird, man, that he just says that. Zominguri lowered his head and chuckled. He chuckled saying that? He closed the pocket watch's cover with a click before opening it again. He repeated this action and his idle thoughts focused on a question. Klein committed unaliving without a silencer. Well, so it was loud. Well, I'll consider it as a unalive for now. His unalive should have caused quite a commotion, yet Melissa, who was just a wall away, did not notice it at all. Shit, she's in on it. Was she sleep? She's in on it. Was she sleeping too soundly, or is it Klein unalive shrouded in a mystery to begin with? He didn't unalive himself. His sister capped him. His sister capped him, went to sleep, and she's like, oh, you're awake. Click, the pocket watch opened. Clack, the pocket watch closed. Melissa returned. No, she doesn't sound shocked. Melissa returned from washing up and saw her brother's subconscious act of constantly opening and closing the pocket watch. Her gaze once again glazed with the exasperation as she said with a sweet voice, Klein, take out all the remaining bread. No, I'm not gonna read an accent. Klein, take out all the remaining bread. Remember to buy fresh ones today. There's meat and peas too. Your interview is soon. I'll make you mutton stewed with peas. As she spoke, she moved a stove out from a corner with some charcoal. She boiled a pot of hot water. Before the water boiled, she opened up the cupboard's lowest drawer and took out what seemed like a treasure, a can of inferior tea leaves. She threw about 10 leaves into the pot and pretended that it was real tea. Melissa poured 2 big cups of... This is so detailed for pouring leaves into tea. And Melissa poured 2 big cups of tea as she strewed 2 pieces of rye bread with zominguri over tea. There is no sawdust or excessive gluten mixed in it. Gluten-free, man. We need gluten-free tea nowadays. Mixed in it, but is unappetizing. Zominguri still felt weak and was starving. He forced himself to swallow the bread while complaining inwardly. Melissa finished eating a few minutes later. After she adjusted her black hair, then reached down to her vest, she looked at Zominguri and said, remember to buy fresh bread. All we need is 8 pounds. The weather is hot, so the bread will easily spoil. Also, buy the mutton and peas. Remember to buy them. Indeed, she was showing concern for her dull brother. You see, that's a better word. Her dull brother. Like, you don't have to say the other word. She even had to repeat it to emphasize it another time. Zominguri nodded with a smile. All right. Regarding the Loan Kingdom, is it Leon or Loan? I'll just say Loan. Loan. Like a loan? L-O-A. No. Leon. I'll say Leon. Like Leon Kennedy from Resident Evil. Regarding Loin Kingdom's pound, Zominguri matched Klein's muscle memory with his. He believed it was close to half a kilogram of what he was accustomed to. Melissa did not say anything further. She stood up and tidied the area. After packing away the last bit of bread for lunch, she put on a tattered veil cap that her mother left behind, picked up a self-sewn bag used to carry her book and stationery, and pressed to leave. It was not Sunday, so she had an entire day of classes to attend. All the stuff you're reading now is covered in... Yeah, I figured this is covered. You know, I remember reading the ReZero web novel, and then when you read the light novel, it's like it's so much more condensed. It's like the web novel is a draft, and then like the light novel is like the final edition, right? And then like, oh, my puppy fell asleep. She's so cute. But yeah, I assume that all the stuff you're reading now is covered in seconds. We'll go through it right now. I want to see how fast-paced it's covered. Alright, sure thing, answered Zorman Guru especially. Simultaneously, he repeated the word Sunday a few times in his head. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. Oh, I want a Sunday now. In the northern continent, a year was similarly split into 12 months. So it's the same calendar system here. Every year, there were 365 or 366 days. A week was similarly split into 7 days. Okay. The splitting of months was a result of astronomical observations. It made Zomringuri suspect whether he was in a parallel world. As for the splitting of days, it was a result of religion. That was because the northern continent had 7 orthodox gods: the eternal blazing sun, the lord of the storms, the god of knowledge, and the wisdom of Evernight goddess, Earth Mother, and the god of... Whoa, this is really detailed. The Evernight goddess, Earth Mother, the god of combat, and the god of steam and machinery. Watching his sister close the doors and leave, Zomringuri suddenly sighed soon as his thoughts focused on the luck enchantment ritual. Sorry, I really wish to return home. Oh, he wants to go back home. Okay. It took 25 minutes. What? Damn, was I that much of a slow reader today? Okay, so quick recap. What do we learn in chapter 3? So in chapter 3, his sister came knocking over. She clearly didn't hear the gunshot. So she's either in on it and she's playing it off, or she knew he was going to unalive himself and he's still here. They have the same calendar system, which means he could be in a parallel world or he just went back in time. But now it's like, well, there's all this. Everlight Goddess, Earth Mother, God of Combat. Oh, and he made some really good tea. The Mon will be a lot faster. You're getting into it. Trust me. Okay. Chapter 4 is called Divination. All right. Chapter 4. Chapter 4. Let's go, man. It took me 27 minutes to start the second chapter for today. Chapter 4, Divination. Returning to his chair, he heard the faraway cathedral's bells chime again. It was continued 7 times before Zomringuri slowly stood up. Oh, whoa. I skipped. Whoa, I just skipped the entire chapter. Let's go back. What did I do? Returned to his chair, he heard the faraway cathedral bells chime again. It continued 7 times before Zomringuri slowly stood up. He went up front to the cupboard and took out his clothes. A black vest with a matching suit, trousers that clung tightly to his legs, a half-top hat. Oh, that's the top hat he's been wearing in the trailer, right? A half-top hat and his faint scholarly air made Zomringuri feel like he was watching an English drama set in the Victorian era. So that's like his attire. Okay. He suddenly muttered softly as he shook his head with a wry smile. I'm not going for an interview. All I'm doing is buying some ingredients to prepare for my luck enchantment ritual. A what? He has a luck enchantment ritual. Klein was so concerned about his impending interview that it became instinct. When he was not focused enough, he habitually wore his only decent set of clothing. After taking a breath, Zomringuri took out his suit and vest, switching to a brownish yellow coat. He also changed to a felt. What's a felt hat? He also changed to a felt hat with a rounded edge of the same color. With his outfit done, he walked to the side of the bed and lifted a square cushion. He reached his hands into the I cannot read today. He reached his hand into an inconspicuous hole beneath and rummaged around before finding an intermediate later. When he retracted his right hand, there was a roll of notes in his palm. There were about 8 notes with faded dark green colors. They were all saving Benson's had at the moment. It even included the living expenses for the next 3 days. 2 of them were 5 Soli notes, and the remaining went 1 Soli note. Soli was a currency, right? Soli? So those are like dollars? Dollar bills? Soli notes? In the Loin Kingdom's currency system, Soli was ranked 2nd. It originated from ancient silver coins. 1 Soli was equivalent... Wow, this is really detailed. 1 Soli was equivalent to 12 copper pence. They had denominations of 1 and 5 Soli. At the top of the currency system was a gold pound. There were also paper-based, but was guaranteed by gold and pegged directly. A gold pound was equivalent to 20... I'm gonna forget this. A gold pound was equivalent to 20 solely. They had denominations, sorry, Ellie, of 1, 5, and 10 gold pounds. Okay, just like us. The twos are rare, right? Zoe Minguri spread a note and caught a whiff of the faint, unique ink. This was the smell of money, perhaps a result of Klein's memory fragments or his constant desire for money. Zoe Minguri felt he had instantly fallen in love with the notes. Behold, their designs are as beautiful. It makes discern an old-fashioned George III and his two mustaches appear especially adorable. Oh, it looks so adorable. Don't stress over the money, lol. Only pounds will be important later. Thank you. I figure, is like, man, we don't gotta worry about pennies and cents. We gotta move up to dollar bills once we get to it, man. Behold, their designs are so beautiful. I'm so sorry about my raspy voice today, dude. Perhaps as a... Oh, this was the smell of money. Perhaps a result of Klein's memory fragments or his constant desire for money, Zoe Minguri felt like he had instantly fallen in love with these notes. Behold, their designs are so beautiful. It makes a stern and old-fashioned George III and his two mustaches... He has two mustaches? Oh, each side. They appear what? Adorable? That's so weird. That's so detailed, dude. Behold, a watermark that can be seen when the note is placed against the sunlight is so alluring. The exquisite design from any counterfeit label. We're talking about counterfeit bills. Counterfeit labels make it completely different from those fake fancy schlucks. I like that word, schlucks. Oh, we'll scroll down a little bit. Zoe Minguri modeled it for nearly a minute before pulling out 2 1-solely notes. He then rolled up the remaining notes and stuffed them back into the cushions concealed later. After arranging the flattening the cloths of Zoe Minguri around the hole, Zoe Minguri folded the 2 notes he had taken out neatly and placed them in the left pocket of his brownish yellow jacket. He separated the notes from the few pence he had in his trouser pockets. With all this done, he placed a key into the right pocket and brought a dark brownish paper bag along with him and quickly walked. How did I skip that? I literally skipped that. I literally lost my place. When I scroll down, it scrolls down so much. Whoa, it scrolls down so much. A pound is like, that's a lot of money. So a pound is like $200 to $300. Woo! Damn, that, you know what I said earlier? That is a smell. This was the smaller currency. That's the smaller currency right there. Damn. Okay. Zoe Minguri admired it for nearly a minute before pulling out 2 1-solely notes. He then rolled up the remaining notes and stuffed them back into the cushion's concealed layer. So he's hiding the money. After arranging and flattening the cloth around the hole, Zoe Minguri folded 2 notes he had taken out neatly and placed them into the left pocket of his brownish yellow jacket. He separated the notes from a few pence he had in his trouser pockets. With all this done, he placed a key into the right pocket and brought a dark brownish paper bag along with him and quickly walked toward the door. He shuffled footsteps slowly down from a brisk pace until it eventually stopped. Zoe Minguri stood by the door and was unsure when he had already begun to frown. Or like $30, I actually have no idea. That was like 90% off. It's like $10 or $100. Nah, it's all good, dude. We'll see right now. We'll see like what he can buy with what he has right now. I feel like that will kind of help out a bit. Bro. Yeah, okay. Zoe Minguri stood by the door and was unsure when he had already begun to frown. Klein's... Whew, I can't read that word. Klein's unalive was a fraught with a... I'll say it. Klein's suicide was fraught with peculiarities. Would he encounter any accidents if he were to leave just like that? After some deep thought, Zoe Minguri returned to his desk and pulled open a drawer. He then took out the shimmering brass revolver. This was the only defense weapon he could think of, and it was the only weapon with sufficient power. Although he had never practiced shooting, just pulling such a revolver out would definitely daunt anyone. He caressed the revolver's cold metal before stuffing his revolver into the pocket. He's taking it with him. Where his notes were, he clasped the money in the palm of his fingers, pressed onto the gun's handle. It was perfectly concealed. Feeling secure, he who do it? I think it's how I didn't make coffee today. I didn't make my coffee today. I'm like, I have a caffeine addiction, so I'm going through the withdrawals right now. I'm trying to not drink. Feeling secure, he who knew a little of everything suddenly had a worry. Would I end up misfiring? Being along with such a thought, Zomaguri quickly thought of a solution. He drew the revolver and released the cylinder. He then aligned the empty chamber, which was a result of the suicide, along with the gun's hammer before closing it. This way, even if there was a misfire, he would discharge an empty round. After stuffing his revolver back in his pocket, Zomaguri kept his left hand there. He pressed down on the hat with his right hand and pulled open the door before leaving. The corridor during the day remained dim, as limited sunlight shone in from the window situated at the end of the corridor. Zomaguri quickly went down the stairs and left the apartment before taking in the brilliance and warmth of the sun. Although it was almost July, it was still considered the middle of summer. Oof. However, Tingen was situated north of the Loin Kingdom, so it has a unique climate characteristics. The highest annual temperature was not even 30. Oh, I can't do math. I don't know. I don't know my Celsius to my Fahrenheit. I think 30 degrees Celsius is 96 degrees Fahrenheit. Those are rookie numbers, bro, right? Or isn't it for 0 degrees Celsius, it's 64 degrees Fahrenheit. You know what, man? I might be off. I'm not even going to be ashamed of that. It was not even 30 degrees Celsius on Earth, with even cooler mornings. However, the streets were awash with filthy water and strewn junk. From Klein's memories, this was not a rare sight in low-income communities. Even if there were sewers, after all, there were just too many people and people needed to survive. Come and try our delicious roasted fish. Hot and fresh oyster soup, drinking bao in the morning and feel invigorated all day. Fresh fish from the port for just 5 pence a piece. Muffins and eel soup made the perfect combination. Conch. Vegetables freshly plucked from the farm outside the city, cheap and fresh. The mobile hawkers who sold vegetables, fruits, and hot food shouted along the streets as they beckoned the rushing pedestrians. Some of them would stop and carefully compare before purchasing. Others would impatiently wave their hands as they had yet to find work for the day. Zomaguri took in a whiff of the air and mixed both noxious and fragrant aromas. As he clenched the revolver tightly in his left hand, which had the notes tight, he pressed down on his hat with his right hand while passing through the busy street with a tiny slouch. There was bound to be thieves in a polluted area. Furthermore, the streets had no lack of poor citizens who were working part-time after losing their previous jobs. There were also starving children. They were exploited by adults to do their bidding. He pounced forward until he reached a point where his crowdness around him restored to normal. He straightened his back and raised his head to the other street. Oh, I'm so sorry for yawning. There was a vagrant accordion buskling. The melody was sometimes pleasant, sometimes fervent. Besides him was several children in ranging clones with swallow complications due to the malnutrition. They listened to the music and moved to the beat, dancing self-made choreographies. Their faces were filled with joy, as though they were a prince of an angel. Prince or an angel, I read that wrong. A deadpan woman passed by. Her skirt was dirty and her skin was dull. Her gaze appeared to be soul and sluggish. This is all covered in chapter 3 of the manga, by the way. Oof, okay, we're gonna go through that right now. We're gonna go after chapter 4. We're gonna quickly kind of go through it. Only when she looked at the bunch of children did a faint glow flash. It was as though she had seen herself for 3 decades ago. Zomaguri overtook her and turned into another street before stopping at the Smear Bakery. The owner of the bakery was a 70-plus-year-old granny named Wendy Smyrin. Her hair was completely grayish white, and she always wore a gentle smile. From the beginning of Klein's memory, she had been her selling bread and pastries. On the Tigan biscuits and lemon cakes she bakes are very delicious. Oh, and her lemon cakes she bakes are very delicious. I read that wrong. Zomaguri gulped a mouthful of saliva and smiled. Miss Myron's 8 pounds. Woo, that sounds expensive. 8 pounds of rye bread. Oh dear, Klein. Where's Benson? Is he not back? Wendy asked. Is Benson the older brother? In a few more days, answered Zormaguri vaguely. As Wendy took the rye bread, she sighed. Oh, dude, I'm getting hungry reading this. He sure is hard-working lad. He would have a good wife. Upon saying this, the corners of her lips curled up as she said playfully, all is good now. You have already graduated. You are a history graduate of our Coin University. Oh, you will soon be able to earn money. You should not be staying in the apartment you are currently living in. At the very least, you should have a bathroom you can call your own. Miss Smyrin, you seem to be a young and energetic woman today. All Zormaguri could do was respond with a dry smile. If Klein were to successfully pass his interview, become a lecturer, so he's trying to be like a teacher. At the Tingen University, it was true that his family would immediately be pushed up the higher socioeconomic status. In his memory fragments, he had once fantasized about renting a detached house in the suburbs. Upstairs, there would be 5 or 6 rooms, 2 bathrooms, and a huge balcony. On the first floor, there would be 2 rooms, a dining room, a living room, a kitchen, and a bathroom. It would also come with an underground storage room. This was not a wishful dream. Even a lecturer on This was not a wishful dream. Even a lecturer on a probation at Tingen University would have a weekly salary of 2 gold pounds. After the probationary period, the salary would be raised to 3 gold pounds and 10 soils. One had to know that despite working for so many years, Klein brother Benson only had a weekly salary of 1 pound and 10 soils. Ordinary workers at a factory did not even get a pound, or at best a little more. And rent for a bungalow was about 19 soils to 1 pound and 18 soils. Why do I have to know if it's 18 or 19 soils or solis? This is the difference between earning 3 to 4,000 yuan. I have to convert yuans to dollars now. Is it like yen in Japanese? Because originally, I guess before like inflation hit, for every 100 yen was like $1. Like every yen was a penny. Is that how I read that? No. Never mind, son. You said it earlier. Is pound is like 200 to 300 or like $30? I actually have no idea. I don't know either. However, all this was under the premise that he passed either the Tingen University or Beckland University interviews. There were not many other opportunities. People without any conditions were unable to get recommendations to become a public servant. And those who studied history were more limited in job opportunities. There was not much demand for private consultants from the aristocrats, banks, and individual managements. Taking into account the knowledge Klein grasped from the fragmented and incomplete, Zormaguri felt awkward and guilty towards Miss Simron's expectations of him. No, I have always been this young, answered Wendy humorously. As she spoke, she packed 16 rye breads as she had weighed into the brown paper bag, and Zormaguri had bought. She stretched out her right hand and said 9 pence. Sorry, Ellie. Every rye bread weighed about half a pound, as the difference were inevitable. 9 pence, wasn't it 11 pence 2 days ago? Zormaguri asked subconsciously. It cost 50 pence the month before the previous month. You have to think the people who protested on the streets for the repeal of the Grain Act, said Wendy as she shrugged. Zormaguri nodded in vague acknowledgement. Klein's memories regarding this was incomplete. All he remembered was that the core tenet of the Grain Act... Are we learning about the Boston Tea Party or what? All he remembered was the core tenet of the Grain Act was to protect the prices of domestic agricultural products. Before the prices rose to a certain level, the grain imports from southern nations like Feyenopotter, Manson, Limburg were stopped. Why would people protest the act? Without saying much, Zormaguri, afraid he would end up pulling out the revolver, carefully took out his notes and handed one of them over to Miss Simers. He was given 3 copper pence in change, stuffed them into his trouser pockets. He took the paper bag containing this bread and headed into the lettuce and meat market across the street. He was working hard for the Menton stewed with peas his sister had extorted. There was a There was a municipal square at the intersection of the Iron Cross Street. And ow, Ellie, you're licking my arm. And the Foldy Street, many tents were erected there, and clowns dressed in odd and funny attires were disturbing one. flyers. There was a circus performance tomorrow night. Zorman Green glanced at the flyers in the hands of others as he read their contents under his breath. Melissa would definitely like it. However, how much is the entrance fee? Do you want to go down, Ellie? Are you hungry? Okay, let me put you down. Wait, the cable's stuck. Here you go, Ellie. Here. Here you go. Why is it dirty? Did you spill your food here? My little puppy spilled your food. That's so messy. Why are you eating all the wet food right there? You're gonna get it dirty. Wanna rest for a bit? With that thought, Zorminguri went closer. Oh wait, I skipped the line. Melissa would definitely like it. However, how much is the entrance fee? Did I skip another thing? Oh, wait, let me read this again. There is a circus performance tomorrow night. Zorminguri glanced at the flyers in the hands of others as he read the contents under his breath. Melissa would definitely like it. However, how much is the entrance fee? With that thought, Zorminguri went closer. Just as he thought about to ask a clown with a red and yellow painted face, a Horus? Like the Horus Heresy? From Warhammer? Is that what I'm reading? Horus? Woman voice sounded from beside him. Would you like to try a divination? Oh. Is that like tarot card reading? Zorminguri subconsciously turned his head and saw a woman wearing a pointed hat and a long black dress standing in front of a short tent. Her face was smeared with red and yellow paint and her eyes were a profound grayish blue. No, Zorminguri shook his head in response. He did not have the spare cash for divination. The woman laughed and said, "My tarot..." Oh, I caught it. It's a tarot card reading. "My tarot divination is very accurate." Tarot. Zorminguri was instantly dumbfounded. This pronunciation was almost identical to the tarot cards of Earth. And tarot cards from Earth were a set of cards used for divination. They just had graphics that represented different omens. Wait, he suddenly recalled the origins of the tarot's divination in this world. It did not originate from the 7 Orthodox gods, nor was it an ancient legacy. Instead, it was created by the Intis Republic's consul of the era, Rosali Gustav, more than 170 years ago. This Mr. Rosali invented the steam engine. So the guy that made the steam engine invented the tarot card system, improved the sailing boats, overthrew the Intis Kingdom imperial rule. So we won the empire. Is that what I'm reading? So in the past we beat the empire and was recognized by the god of craftsmanship. He also became the first consul of the Intis Republic. Later, he invaded other nations and placed Lemberg and other nations under his protection. He made Leon Kingdom and Fey Napatur, Feyesic Empire, and other powerful northern continent nations bow down to the Intis Republic. Following that, the Republic was then changed to an empire, and he became the self-proclaimed Emperor Caesar. Oh. It was, okay, so he's the emperor. It was during Rosel's rule that the Church of Craftsmanship received its first public holy revelation since the 5th epoch. Ever since the god of craftsmanship, he was changed to the god of steam and machinery. Rosel also invented tarot divination. He also established the contemporary system of paper-based cards and their playstyles. There were many family styles, and Zorminguri was familiar with such as Upgrade, Fighting the Landlords, Texas Poker, and Gwent. I thought I read Gwent. In addition, the marine fleets he sent out discovered a sea route that led to the southern continent through the stormy and turbulent seas. This also began the era of colonialism. Unfortunately, he was betrayed in his old age in the year 1198 of the 5th epoch. He was assassinated by the combined forces of the Church of the Eternal Blazing Sun, the former Intis. Oh my goodness, this is so overwhelming. I'm gonna forget this, man. The former Intis royal family. Sauron? Are we reading Lord of the Rings? The Sauron? I really hope we join this family household. We just gotta join the bad guys. That or they're the bad guys. The Sauron family and other aristocrats. He eventually died in the White Maple Palace. What? To recall such this is not general knowledge. To recall such general knowledge suddenly made him facepalm like, oh, How did I not remember that? Common knowledge. Duh. I wish I was able to remember like him. Holy shit. That was so damn overwhelming, dude. Wait. When I scroll down, it skips so much, dude. Wait. To recall such general knowledge suddenly made him facepalm. Could this be a transmigration senior? I'm a peek at the comments people are putting. He realized instantly, yet people in the comments are still mad. What did you want him to do? He's just recalling these memories. Don't let him win, Klein. He created an empire, so you have to create too. You know, people did say to not read the comments. Yeah, okay, well, we're on the last 2 sentences of the chapter. This is so fucking... This is so overwhelming, Sant. He's like, oh, such general knowledge. Slipped my mind. I should have remembered all this myself. With this in mind, Zhou Minguri was intrigued to see what the tarot cards looked like. Therefore, he nodded at the pointy hat woman with the painted face and said, if the well price is reasonable, I will give it a try. The woman immediately said with a laugh, sir, you are the first one here today. So it's on the house. That's really good. Chapter 5 is called Ritual. I'm gonna call it. This is from the damn trailer when like all the smoke started bubbling around him. So okay. Quick summary. Quick recap. How many minutes? We're 51 minutes. Dude, when I read the first 2 chapters, it was like 30 minutes. Dude, I'm reading so slow. I am so sorry. Okay, we're gonna work on this. I already lost my notes. Okay, so quick recap. Chapter 4. What did we learn? He was gonna go buy bread from his sister. We were supposed... I say supposed because I forgot. We were supposed to learn the currency system. We were supposed to learn that. I forgot that. And we were supposed to learn all the history of the world. And I forgot that. But I will remember it over time. You know, people were true. This is like it's a slow burn. People say it's a slow start, but eventually pays off. I like what that one guy said. He sounded like a salesperson. It's like Lord of Mysteries is like a seed. If you just leave it there, it will sit in the back of your mind, but you read it's gonna sprout. So I'm waiting for it to sprout. It's still seated in my head because that was really overwhelming and complicated. But I will learn over time. So that was pretty good. He want to go buy bread. He ran into a creepy woman dressed in all black that was going to read him his tarot cards. And I assume this is where he gets the Fool, right? The Fool. And that's it. There's going to be a carnival that he's thinking of taking his sister to, right? All right, that was pretty good, dude. You know what we should do? Yeah, well, let's do that. Let's check out the manhwa. Wait, if you like what you're seeing, you want to see more, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. And I will see you guys next time.